Hey everyone, hello P-Fist, Ryoku the Slayer, whoever else is here. Let me post on Twitter that I'm now live. I've had this cough for the last few days. I think it's almost over, but still nursing it. It was a little bit late. Hi, iBopco. How's it going? So let me show you guys what I've got so far right now. Let me first fix this one bug. Where is the problem? What the hell? Okay, I'm not sure where the... Hey! Rabezandratin. Hello! You have a very difficult to pronounce username. Yeah, the job is fun. For the most part, what is... I'm a little bit confused about what I did wrong here. This should be... So I'm basically moving this to be a delegate. So like basically when we switch into normal mode or invert mode, a bunch of other stuff is called along with it. I do not understand what's happening. Hey, Divinity Stripes. They're very useful, but what is there something wrong with this public delegate? Huh. It does. I mean, it's just a C# thing. That's so fucking weird. Okay. Oh, let's just, you know what, let's just run it. What the hell? Oh, there we go. What the fuck? Is there... Yeah, I don't really understand what's happening here, why this is showing up as an error. Let's just run it and see what happens. Yeah, delegates are really useful. So basically, instead of having everybody kind of like check the rigid body to see if it's in invert mode, it's just like when it goes in invert mode, all these other functions are called. I'll kind of go through this once I get it running. Uh, so delegates are indeed very useful. How is everybody... And how is everybody doing on this fine Sunday afternoon? Thought of just walking on walls and seeing the search if anyone did it. Just barely found you. You know, I'm actually not the first one to do it. If you check out Divinity Stripes, you know that game Prey? It's actually this like first-person shooter, came out in the, I think like in the 90s. That one had portals before Portal, and it also had walking on walls, and it also had like scaled worlds. It was actually like a really cool, like they had a bunch of really, really cool stuff. I think people said it like wasn't a great shooter, but but it had a lot of really, really interesting stuff. Anyway, so this is so see right now with this black box, you can see you only get a single ring. So you can't pick this up until you turn it on, and obviously there needs to be like better visual communication. But basically, you pick up the box and you go into invert mode. And the way I've set it up now is you have to, as long as you're carrying the box, you stay in invert mode. As soon as you let go, we start this fade back to white, which then resets the player to the place where the invert box is. Now, what you notice is that the invert box isn't resetting, but it should. And so that's where I got to yesterday. I kind of got like this set up. I got the fade to white all working. And then I decided... But the problem was the code was really messy. So this is the invert gravity cube script. So this is what controls the invert gravity cube. I have the carry rigid body, which is the script that handles the picking up objects. And oh, by the way, Divinity Stripes. There's another game called Try, Tri. It's with like a monk and a fox. It's a first-person game, but that also has walking walls. It's very different. That is to say that wall walking ceiling is not totally unique to my game. So don't let that stop you if you feel like that's a mechanic you want to explore. There's also a game Inverto which has it. But yeah, like Prey did it. Prey did wall walking and portals before a bunch of other games. Nice HUD graphics. I need to work on the HUD. Not that I have much of one. I started playing Bloodborne yesterday too, by the way. I died like 20 times. Super Mario Galaxy. I haven't played that. Oh, and the like Gravity Rush. I usually only play the first-person games. But anyway, so this is So anyway, we have the script that controls the invert gravity cube. We have the script that controls object carrying, picking up, carrying objects. And then this is the rigid body controller, which just kind of controls the player. And it was starting to get a little bit complicated because I would have the invert gravity look at the rigid body to see if the rigid body is in invert mode. And then the rigid body would have to check the invert gravity cube to like put it back. So it ended up being this like all that back and forth, which is sort of what delegates allow you to avoid. So like basically, this is, I'll show you guys a good working example, which is with gravity shift, right? So when the player shifts gravity, like a bunch of objects are affected. So these cubes become active, some cubes become inactive, some buttons become active, some buttons become inactive. Active by like, I mean you can interact with them and they fall. Right, so you can see what we've done here is we've done like wall gravity, wall callback, right? And then we've got this. And what you'll see inside gravity cubes is they have this function on gravity shift, which tells it what happens on gravity shift. It's like, okay, on gravity shift, when this function is called, check to see if my gravity matches that of the new player gravity, and if it is, then I'm active. You know, turn on my bottom collision collider, otherwise set it to false. And what we do is we simply add it to the, you see when it starts, we are adding this to the shift callback function. So that means, oh right, so we actually, we have two, you'll see that there's gravity shift begin and gravity shift callback, because when you start gravity shift, the object actually doesn't start, the color change starts to happen, but so that's why we do color shift, but it's not until you fully change gravity that the gravity is affected. So there's two with there, and I think that's going to be the same with invert mode. Like we started doing the invert mode transitions, but your player isn't, the box doesn't get reset until that's complete. So yeah, I wouldn't even say like my game is the walking on wall is a big part of it, but not like the only part of it. I mean, a lot of it has to do with the inverse mode and the unusual geometry, etc. That's all. Those are all parts of what makes my game different than another wall walking game. So, right, so back to, so anyway, you can see, so now when this gravity shift is called, right, like when you do this function is called, and then when this is called, everything else that's like listening to it will have them called. So it's just a nice way to have sort of kind of the one unit, the one actor kind of kickstart this, and then all the other things that need to listen to it will do that, instead of me having to like keep track of, you know, in rigid body controller kind of call everybody else. So I'm doing that with the invert mode because it sort of functions in a very similar way, where really it's you as the player that kickstarts the transition into invert mode, but everybody else has to respond to that. So anyway, I've got the delegate. I might the thing is, what I'm thinking of right now, and this isn't that important. So I have the invert mode stuff inside my rigid body controller script. This is a script that controls your player movement, and it's right. And I'm thinking maybe it should go inside the carry rigid body, since this is what starts it, but you know what? I'll leave it in here for now, and then if it does feel like it's more of a carry rigid body thing, then we'll move it over. So let's go ahead and hopefully this runs. I don't know why why is this giving me an error? I don't understand. how rigid bodies look. That might be because of the update. Like if you're using fixed update or something. Okay, that's fine. What the fuck is... Yeah, that... I think it's like the... Okay, well, it's running without that, so... Oh, wait, should it be here? Okay. Alright, I'm gonna ignore that for now. So let's go ahead and on broadcast ready. Yeah, no, what iBobCo is saying is sort of what I'm suspecting is the issue with Ryoku the Slayer's problem. Okay, so unshifted normal. So let's do that. So now I just need to make sure that this is called. So let's... Why don't we say... Feel like... Hey! Evan, you say I need to do a... It's public event instead of delegate? But this is like what this has been done before. I'm just looking at what David had written before, and it's... Oh, the first line should be... Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Is this... Actually, I don't see... Oh... How come, like, this is not causing a problem, though? You know? That's what's confusing me. Oh. Okay, I'm declaring two different delegate types. Yeah, I don't know what the problem is either. I think it's all, you know, I'm just gonna ignore it. Well, FX360, thank you. I guess we're just, I'm just gonna ignore it because it doesn't seem, it seems like it's all good. Yeah. You know what? One thing I'm gonna do, just to maybe see if it'll. Okay, that doesn't fix anything. Ah, fuck it. So what I want, actually this is more confusing than the way I had it before. Okay, basically let's when it goes into normal mode transition, we are going to do normal mode transition callback. Yeah. You know, xTyler73, we've given you a lot of chances, but I think you seem to not stop with your comments, so I am going to have to ban you. Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't like to ban people, but this is not the first time, or the second time, or even the third time, so... All right. So normal mode transition callback. So hopefully now this should be. So this one, this is called. That should. So that should lead to us printing. I think I'm going to have to do something again similar to. Yeah. Okay, so, well, first of all, what should happen is we should just see it printed. Hold on a second while I go back in here. Okay, so what we should have is, okay, let's try this now. So we are going to go into okay, I'm having some other problems. Object reference not set. Hey, anyway, yeah, let's keep this chat positive. Tiny and crap, I'm doing well. Yeah, and I think the invert mode works really well. It's like aesthetically and mechanically it fits. Okay, so I am getting some problems. You know what? For the sake of, let's. You know what? Let's call this. Where is. That's obviously not it. It does a few things. It disables the ability to change gravity, and then it just has like it then like you can go through some doors. Trees act a little differently. It's more about getting you to rethink what your relationship to the environment. What the hell? Hey, Fresh Heels, how's it going? PC Gamer's article. Yes, that was really cool. Yeah, that was kind of cool when they talked about it. I have no idea what is going on here. I wonder if maybe. Okay, this is another problem. What the fuck? Am I missing something here? Type expected? What the hell? I am so confused. Why is this giving me a warning? What the heck? That is sort of what I'm thinking of, Tiny Angry Crap. But yeah, let me... What is going on? This is like the weirdest thing. It's not saying, it's not actually, Unity isn't giving me an error with it, which is weird. Bin Putson, I think I'm gonna do that. Not sure what happened. That's so weird. I mean, I have like, but that's, there's a few null reference exceptions, but that's not a... What the fuck? What? So I'm only getting these warnings, but this is just, I'm gonna close the project and then see what happens. The fuck? I was kind of hoping to do more. I'm not sure where this weird bug is coming from. Hey, None Superior. Welcome. We are working on this weird bug. I'm getting these Visual Studio errors, but it's like not with the line of code. Anyway, we just closed the project and are opening it up again. Hopefully that fixes it. But it's weird. But yeah, we were trying to use set up delegates for the invert system. Basically have everything pay attention to what's happening to the player controller instead of well, we started it again and now the error is gone. It wasn't a missing semicolon. We like deleted the line and rewrote it. I no idea. So yeah, but I'm just gonna copy this here so I can. Yeah, that's basically it's Gremlins. Normal mode callback. Okay, well, our error's gone. That was weird. Thank you. Yeah, that was kind of cool to yeah, like I was a little bummed about the most anticipated games of 2016 list because I wasn't on Rock Paper Shotgun this year. I was on there last year, and then this year I wasn't in any of the. I wasn't in either adventure or exploration or puzzle category, and I thought I wasn't going to be on any list. But then I ended up getting onto Wired and IGN and The Verge, and I have no idea how that happened. I mean, they don't consult you when they do that. I guess they just. It's like their staff put that together, and I think they had just seen the game and were excited about it. So, but yeah, that was sick. So I didn't do anything. I cannot take any credit for that. Yeah, it's on the perhaps Indie Fund. Yeah, well, although I don't know if they're going to give me my second round of funding. The IGN piece is really funny because my friend Kevin Geisler, he is the producer and programmer on Octodad with Young Horses. They're here in Chicago. And he linked to this video on his Twitter. And he was like, here's a good list of games to compare your own game you're working on to, and like, from IGN, and I was like, oh wow, my game's on it. That was a big surprise. I think also because like for some reason Google Alert my Google Alert's not working, and I'm not getting mentions of Manifold Garden when it's in the press, so I actually don't know about this until people point it out to me. Like, I didn't know about Wired until someone told me it was on, so if you guys see it in the press, let me know. Yeah, why wouldn't they? I just, I don't know. I'm sort of constantly thinking that no one cares about the game. Alright, so I think this should work now. Oh, you know what? I think I see the problem. Hold on. Once this loads. Well, that's good. That's always good to hear. So it looks like I may have. Okay, so I did get this error. There are inconsistent endings in the invert gravity cube.cs script. Some are Mac OS X and some are Windows. This might lead to incorrect line numbers and stack traces and compile errors. Convert line endings. So I think that could be it. Yeah, no, it was like a really nice start to the year to kind of see some of that. I think. Why am I not being able to pick this up? I totally picked it up earlier. You know what? I think I know what the issue is. I think it doesn't know. I think it doesn't know who rigid body is. That's the fucking problem. It's because in this, it sets the rigid body controller, and then I was calling it before that had been set. I think part of it is with press is like I see games like Hyper Light Drifter, which get a ton of press. No, they definitely do feel like it get a ton of press. And if it's like, if you're not getting that much, it feels like you're not doing enough. Like, Hyper Light Drifter. I feel like the indies that get a lot of attention are like Hyper Light Drifter, Super Hot, Tacoma, Firewatch. Thumper. Thumper definitely deserved it. That's a sick game. Oh, there we go. So we should see now the message. Thumper? Dude, Thumper is a rhythm violence game. That game you have to check out. It's very, very good. This is a game, by the way, if you guys don't know it. It's very cool, Mark. It's by two guys that used to work at, who made Rock Band? Harmonix. You know what's funny is, so one of the guys, Brian Gibson, he is the bassist for the band Lightning Bolt. And I saw them in college in this like coffee shop basement. I remember they were touring, and they were from like from Rhode Island, and they were really into like the weird noise art music scene. And I had no idea who they were, and I went, and it was just like this guy and a drummer, and it was just like the music was like, and I just remember it I can't say I liked the music, but it made a really, really strong impression. And then 10 years later, I met him, and I was like, dude, I saw you in a basement 10 years ago. But yeah, they used to work at Harmonix. Brian doesn't play first-person games. I know, because he tried Manifold Garden and was like having trouble moving around. But they're both super cool. We might have them on the stream, actually. I know I've talked to Mark about it, and he's definitely interested. So I just gotta kind of, it's the beginning of the year, so I got a bunch of things to work on. But hopefully they will come on the stream and talk about their game. Okay, so that's because the reason why that wasn't getting printed. So what should happen? So this is our routine. So we're fading back to the normal mode once it is done, right? Because the thing is, I'm using a coroutine because I want this to be timed. Once that's done, it will call the normal mode shift callback, which should then result in on shift normal mode being called, because we added this right at the beginning. We added normal mode shift callback. So this looks yeah, Thumper looks great, and I've played it and it's very good. And you know, those guys spent 5 years working on it. So that's the problem. It's our on broadcast thing that was what was causing the weird problem. But yeah, it's lots of crazy shader magic, and really, really fun. It's rhythm violence is such a good description of it. But yeah, I think that game is going to be huge when it comes out. Okay, actually no, never mind. I didn't fix it. Okay, yeah, I can't pick it up now. Let's do this. Yes, okay. Boom. Now I can pick it up. So we should see the message. Yes. Okay, we did do it. So you see we had this message called. You know, I'm gonna disable this for now since I don't need that. So yeah, we would actually not use this then. We would just use this shift callback. Okay, so our delegate is working. I guess that bug earlier was just some weird Visual Studio thing. I'm not sure what happened. We closed the project and started it up again, and then the bug went away. So By the way, has anybody here in the chat played Bloodborne? I just started it yesterday. I can see why it's fun, but I was like, this is going to take a really long time for me to finish. Yeah, I was actually stuck in the beginning for quite a while because there's like a ladder you're supposed to climb that I kept missing. Because it just like the scenery is so complex. So I actually have to look up a walkthrough in the first like 40 minutes, which I was like, what the? Okay, yeah, so see, I wanted that to get called, right, at that moment, and it did. So what we want to do is, because, like, the reason why I'm setting up this is because, like, I want to reset the position of the cube, right? But the position of the cube, I don't know when I want to reset this invert cube to its previous position. But the problem was I didn't know, I only want to do it after the white fade is complete. And so you can see I had written some notes. It was like, how can I access the cube? Should I be like, you know, do I find the game object that's the cube and then reset that? But then like, you have to have the cube talking to the rigid body to then talk to the cube to then, and I was like, you know what? If you just do a callback, what's great is then the rigid body controller is like, hey, I'm done. You know, I've done the white fade. I'm now going back into normal mode. And the invert cube is just sort of listening and it's like, hey, that's okay. Now I gotta do my thing. So that's really, really nice. Hey, L.A. Watson. This is, so we are, for those of you that are new, I'll do a quick, oh, hey, David Kilmer. Totally missed you were talking about Bloodborne, right? I'm checking it out because it's on a lot of people's, it's on the top of a lot of people's best of 2015 list. And then also some people said the architecture is quite interesting. Yeah, the thing is, those games have a lot of audience baggage going in. Like it's almost like this pilgrimage. So you ignite this, and then you can pick it up, and you go into the invert mode, and you can't change gravity in this mode. So it's sort of the idea is that it changes your relationship to the world. There'll be a few other things like doors that you can only go through in invert mode, stuff like that. So there's sort of a slight variation of the puzzle. It's kind of a twist of the mechanic as well as the visuals. And what happens is when you let go of the black box, it sends you back into the normal mode. So right now what we're doing is, you can see we're back to the position where we had first picked up the black box, but the black box position needs to get reset. And I just used a delegate to do that instead of having this like weird acrobatics of this calling that, calling this. So now it's like we have when the player finishes the invert, the transition back into normal mode, it does the delegate thing, and then everybody else that needs to know of that is listening to it and then does their own thing. So that's good. So right. So see, we record the position, box position time. You know what? We should just have. You know what? This really should just be like original box position. Yeah, it shouldn't be the position when the box is picked up, right? It should just be like... So yeah, the Ellie Watson, this is sort of similar to... It basically is what... I feel like it's sort of the missing piece that I've been searching for a really long time. And what it does, it's actually this phrase that Richard Terrell calls folded level design, where you go through the same level twice, but with a different mechanic. So like, I think the best example of folded level design is probably Ridiculous Fishing, in that you go, in that first half, you are going down and the goal is to avoid fish, right? You want to avoid hitting anything for as long as you can until you get really deep. And then what happens is you go up through the same area, but now this time you want to catch all the fish. So it's a really clean folded level design example. It's almost kind of the exact opposite. Starseed Pilgrim also does that, but not quite as clean as Ridiculous Fishing. In like a first-person game, a good example is like if you go through a level and like you have to use stealth because you don't have any guns, and then you get to the room and you steal whatever it is that you we're looking for, but then the alarm goes off and now you gotta exit. You gotta go out the same way you came in. So now, and then you find a bunch of guns. So now, like the first half is stealth, and then when you go through the same level, now you're just like blowing everything up. So this makes it like a folded level design where you have to solve a bunch of puzzles in the normal mode, then you unlock inverse mode and you go in through that, and it's slightly different variation of everything. So it makes you look at the architecture in a same new way, in a different way, the same architecture in a different way, and I think it sort of completes that cycle. Because the big problem I was having design-wise was, how do you know when a level is complete? Because there's no giant boss fight, and the game is non-linear, right? So you don't, like if it were linear, you would know you've completed this area because the next area has opened up. But since it's non-linear, you can open up a door to the next area without finishing all the puzzles in one area. So it's like, how do you know then that that area is complete? And it's really important for players to have a sense of progression, because otherwise it's just like an arbitrary, you just kind of have like an arbitrary set of stuff to do. But the inverse, but not having that invert mode means that like, okay, I've opened up the door to the next area, but I know this isn't really complete because I haven't gone into the invert mode. But if I've gone through the invert mode, then, you know, I can kind of cross that off my list, and I know. And what's kind of cool is that this term folded level design, I didn't even know about it until like 2 weeks ago. And so the tree garden mechanic definitely is a way of indicating progression, right? So there's multiple ways of showing progression, and trees are part of it, but also not complete. So so anyway, yeah, it's called folded level design. I didn't even know about an area. I didn't know about that term until, 2 weeks ago. And what's really cool about that is that makes the name Manifold Garden totally makes sense, right? Like manifold. So I don't know. I thought that was just sort of really cool. It seems very much. Yeah. So there's going to be like, well, the thing is, once you complete invert mode, you unlock an area that is like, that's an indication. Edo Kartoffel, I am using Unity. So the thing with the invert mode right now is that it's not using the gardening mechanic. Like you pick up the box, and we'll have you drop the box somewhere that's Like you'll bring the box from point A to point B, and then you unlock this area. But I'd really like to use it to have like some kind of thing where it's like it's a seed and you plant it or something. You should use whatever you want the semantics of completion to reflect it in this. So if the idea is some sort of degradation, you could do mild texture swaps to degrade. Right. Yeah, there is something like that happening. It's not so much a journey of degradation, though. Who was it that was asking? Was it you that was asking about the narrative? It's not. This kind of ties in. It's not about. Yeah, it is. It's not about so much degradation as the journey isn't about the world falling apart, but you bringing life into the world. So that's, as a gardener, it's like it starts out barren. So it's more of a thematic narrative structure. So. I know Kartoffel, Unity is free. I think you are unable to install it. That's not a problem with Unity. That's a problem with your user privileges on your computer, and that's not going to change. That's going to be the same regardless of which software. It's like it's your. You don't have the settings. You just need to ask whoever. If it's not your computer, you just need to ask the admin to give you permission to give you the ability to install. So that's a local issue, but Unity is free. Paradise? Well, part of it is I didn't know about that. I didn't know Paradise meant garden. I did. One of the inspirations for garden was like Garden of Eden, which is, as like this place of origin. So that is. I didn't consider it specifically with the word paradise, but yeah, Garden of Eden was one of the inspirations for having garden in the title. I think you can. I don't know about Blender creating a game. If there's scripting, I wouldn't recommend it. But I honestly would just check out Unity. I think you can install it. I actually have never used another engine, so I'm probably not the best person to ask. So yeah, there's also Unreal. I haven't really used it, so I can't say too much about that. Hey, yeah, yes, Moin Powing. That would, dude, that's awesome. I would love to see it. What is the what's the gaming magazine? I'm not yeah, I'm not too familiar with gaming press outside of the English ones. I'd love to see it. Thanks for the heads up, by the way. Game Maker also. Oh, nice. GameStar. Okay. Very cool.
Das habe ich rausgesucht.
It's cool. It's a reaction to their reaction.
Boah. Cool. Das sieht aus, als würde man in einem, jetzt habe ich in der Sekunde das Wort vergessen. Das Ding, was man schüttelt, wo man durchgucken kann, Kaleidoskop. Als würde man durch ein Kaleidoskop durchmarschieren. Weil der Trailer es nicht gut verraten hat, das ist ein Puzzlespiel. Also praktisch so eine Art
I have no idea what they're saying. But
nicht Portal, aber der Clou am Spiel ist, dass man durch diese 3D-Welt läuft, die unendlich ist. Alle Levelbestandteile und alles, was man hat, wiederholt sich in alle Richtungen in Unendlichkeit. Und es gibt auch keinen Sprung,
okay, there's
Schaden,
no.
wenn man irgendwo runterstürzt. Das heißt, man kann von einem Levelobjekt runterspringen und dann auf eine der 10., 12., 13. Version dieses Levels wieder landen, auf einer anderen Stelle. Das ist auch ein Gameplay-Element, dass man manchmal von Version A zu Version B des Levels hüpft, weil du
I don't know why I'm listening to that. It's not like I understand what's going on. That was really cool, though. C#, yes. Let me answer some questions. Thank you, by the way, Moin Poing. That was super cool. Thanks for the heads up. Contract 2 is great. I've heard. These are all I've heard. Yeah, I'll have to ask some friends that speak German about it, but that was super cool. Okay, that's awesome. Thanks, Moin Poing. Yeah, it's C#. Unity uses C#. I am going to publish my game by the Play Store. You mean the PlayStation Store? Yes, this game is coming out on PlayStation, so it will be on the store. Hopefully, I get a feature. Okay, let's actually move. Okay, move. This is called when the player goes into normal mode from invert mode. So move the box back into original position. No worries. I'll just ask a friend. I'll just send it. I've got a friend in Austria, so I'll just send him to him. Oh, Google Play Store. No, I'm not doing this for. This is not going to be for mobile. So. Yes. Am I considering VR? Everyone asks about that, but I'm not sure. It would be cool to try it. It's not a priority. Yeah. just because I think VR, you really have to design it. The best VR experiences are designed from the ground up for VR, and this isn't. And hello, Salty McLeod. That's yeah. We're having enough trouble optimizing on PlayStation 4, so yeah, they are. I just don't know if the first-person view is so great for it. Oh, sick! There we go. So you know. It shouldn't, it's probably a little bit too sudden, I think. Yeah, also the wall flipping is a big problem because you don't. The thing is, the thing with VR is you don't want to move your camera different than how the player's head would move, and this would be. The thing is, like, it would only work if, like, you can actually, if we had some, like, kind of crazy room that allowed you to change gravity, but so. I like that the box is shifted now, but it is a little, this is a little bit faster than I think I would like. It should also be, so one thing I'm thinking of is that maybe there should be a way to okay. So this is one of the things that I'm not so sure about with my design. Edo Kartoffel, it really depends on programming is such a big thing. I don't know if this stream would be the best place. I think people here are very knowledgeable and can give you some tips, but it is pretty specific, like game stuff, which is different than just general programming. Yeah, so I think you might want to start there, learning general programming before focusing on games. Okay, so one of the things with invert mode, and I'd like to get your opinion on this. So you saw we have the one where you pick up the box and you go into invert mode, and then when you let go of the box, it fades to white, and it then resets you. My other option is having having this where when you go into invert mode, you just slowly fade to white. So it's a much slower fade, and once it's completely white, you are done. What happens is you can go into near trees, and they reset. It resets it for you. So as soon as you leave the tree, the fade begins. So what I like about this version is that it gives like a dual property to the trees. So you plant them in the normal mode so that you can get more boxes to, solve puzzles with and to grow more trees, etc., right? And then when you're in the invert mode, it acts as a sort of an oasis of energy that you can go to keep yourself in there. But I'm not a huge fan of the timing element. I'm not a huge fan because then, right, like having this white fade introduces a timing thing. This is like I'm like still not sure about how to. These are like different ideas for how to do invert mode. So the first idea is like you pick up the box, and that brings you into invert mode. And as soon as you let go, you fade back into normal mode. So then your invert mode interaction, it's like the whole time you're in invert mode, you have to hold on to that box. I might make that fade a little longer because in the end, you do have to bring the box to one place. So you do have to drop it, and I don't want making you drop the box be like a totally negative thing. The other option is that so that's one. You pick up the box. You've got to hold on to it the whole time. The second one is you go into invert mode, and we start the fade. And you don't have to carry the black box. You can put it down, and you'll find that you cannot walk on walls. The thing is, if you're holding the box, then you can't even walk on walls anyway. Oops. So then, but then this fade is constant. But then when you do this, it resets it. The nice thing about this, so one advantage with the box is that it allows you to go back to normal mode instantly, right? With this, so like if you make a mistake in invert mode, and like you don't think, like, or maybe you're just like, you know what, I can't find what I'm supposed to do with this, so I just want to go back to normal mode. You drop the box and right away you go back to normal mode, right? Whereas this is like, you're like, actually I want to go back to normal mode now, and then you just kind of have to like wait. So I'm not a huge fan of that. So this is 2, but I do think I like this duality thing. Now, the third option is sort of a combination of these two, where as soon as you drop the box, the white fade comes in. So now it's not going to be as slow as this. It'll be a little bit faster, but that means like if you pick up the box again, then you can go back into invert mode. So, but it also means that you can like try to, so the waiting making player wait thing is not good. Even Starcy Pilgrim, you can just hold H and it'll teleport you back immediately. So I'm thinking where it's like, it's a much slower thing, but that means you could have a bunch of trees, and if you wanted to, you could drop the box and run through the trees. You can't plant the trees enough that if you drop the box, you can like stay in invert mode a lot longer, which I think is kind of interesting. So that might be like a fun thing to let players do. So it sounds like the third option might be the best one. You also like the thing I like about the third option too is it's also not super punishing. Like with the first option, if you accidentally hit the button and drop the box, then it resets you, and it's like you're like, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Whereas with the third option, it's like you still have a sort of a safety period, and you're not waiting that long, so it'll be much faster, but it won't be as fast as what it is in invert mode. Can I be the best computer scientist if you don't go to uni? I don't see a reason why not. I know a lot of really good programmers that didn't go to university or dropped out. Game Vivo, hello, by the way. I'm gonna get a little more something to drink. Yeah, I think it also depends on where you're based. Game Vivo, are you in the U.S.? Asking just because, like, it's like if you're in Germany, then you know that's school is free, so you don't have to like take out a massive loan to study programming, which is of course good. I didn't drop out of college, but I didn't take any computer classes. But then again, I'm not a very good programmer, so I suppose I'm not a good I'm not really a good example. It's a matter of how much time you have to spend ensuring food and shelter. So, you know what? I think I'm a much better designer. So I think for those of you that were listening about the invert mode, I think option 3 is the best one. Kind of a combination of the two. Yeah, so let's go ahead and set so yeah, we'll make it a little slower. So it's you still have to wait a bit, but it's not like a crazy time. Oh yeah. That's right. Sometimes I feel like it's like instead of going to like U.S. colleges, they're like $250,000, some of them, right? Tuition. So I don't even know what it is now. It's pretty ridiculous. It's like you tuition, right? Tuition living. Let's just say $250,000, or let's just say like 50,000 a year. And it's like, well, you could live very comfortably on 50,000 a year. That's like more than how much I live on a year to make this game. And you can just do that for 5 years and study programming on your own. I mean, of course, if you're going to do that, you might as well just try to get a job somewhere to give you more motivation, but I don't know. U.S. colleges really makes it difficult to... So I'm thinking it's like, it'd be like this, and, you know, if you let go of the box... Okay, that's too fast. Alright, so I should make it where if you are picking up a box, it fading to normal is turned off. You just press E or well X on the you press the button once. Yes, so like you have to take that box. The idea is like you gotta take this invert box and go somewhere, right? Because like it's the whole, without the box, there's no. It does come down to getting from point A to point B, and the box forces you to do that. So it does involve the box, and it's basically you just need to get the box somewhere. So I think if you pick up the box, death. It's not quite death. I don't know if it means anything, it's just this interesting thing that it does. So I'm gonna try this thing where if I drop the box and pick it up again, it should... Okay, it stopped the invert mode. Oh, this is interesting. Imagine where it's like every time you drop the box, it starts to fade, or you have like a limited amount of free space. Does going to... Does this work? Okay, that's not... Hold on. Okay, I gotta tweak this bit. So I'm actually gonna stop the stream now. We've been streaming for about an hour and a half, so that's plenty. But anyway, I'm gonna keep thinking about invert mode. If you guys have ideas, let me know. I was like reading about seeds yesterday on Wikipedia. Very interesting entry. But if you guys can think of like, it's more like a design play thing, making you go through, but like, I'd love to make this black box a seed of some sort, like a really special seed. It's sterile, so it doesn't, you can grow, if you were to grow a tree with it, you can't grow, I can't allow the player to grow more black boxes, so that's not, so it's like a sterile seed, but it'd be like, kind of cool if it worked in this like, it feels like night plants, or something. Are there plants that only grow at night? Night blooming plants. So maybe this might be an interesting thing to read about. This is like having some kind of thing that does this. But anyway, I'm gonna end the stream now. It's been fun, and I hope you all have a good rest of Sunday evening. I will see you guys. I'm going to stream tomorrow during the day as well. Another seed that can only... That's sort of the black one is sort of it. Yo, Tiny Angry Crab. So, anyway, desert plants do their photosynthesis at night. So, yeah. I think I'll probably stream in the... I have a meeting tomorrow afternoon. So I think I'll probably stream in the morning. But anyway, thank you all for hanging out. Thanks for all the ideas. I will do some more reading and thinking, and we'll probably do more prototyping tonight, and then hopefully have some updates tomorrow. But yeah, this is super exciting to kind of work through everything. Yeah, that's kind of what I like. 'Cause Ultimate Cloud, it's like matter, antimatter, and seed, anti-seed, but I haven't quite figured out a way where it like connects and it all makes sense. It's just right now my thing is like you grab the invert box and then you just bring it to a place, and then that opens up a door to go to an area, and you can like check out what's going, and then that is this like cool area that looks really cool, and that lets you know it's done. But it would be kind of cool if it was, instead of just bringing a box from part A to part B, that it had like a tree seed function. But anyway, I'll keep thinking about this, and yeah, let me know if you have ideas. And hello, Aseri. We are actually just ending the stream now, but I'll see you next time.